Hi, my name is Chastity Williams, and I am the owner of MOHJU, where I help coaches, other consultants like myself, and mental health practices streamline and automate their workflows so that they can find time to take vacations again. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you why I am switching from Dubsado to another platform called Moxie to handle my client communications from onboarding all the way up to the close of project. Now stay with me and you will see why. So today I want to show you an example from my own business where I am switching from Dubsado to Moxie. And in reality, I have already switched from Dubsado to Moxie. And if you didn't know, Dubsado is a software tool for kind of solopreneurs essentially, or even small agencies where they can handle their business client management. So here is their homepage, and you can see some of their quick features and who it's for and the cost. So I had learned about Dubsado by helping a client of mine, get it up and going. And then I thought, wow, this does everything I need because it can send out proposals, contracts, and invoices in one fell swoop where your client can sign, and pay. And then it also allowed you to automate workflows. So with a scheduler or a meeting scheduler, you can put on your website, the minute somebody fills that out, you can trigger that to send an email, to do other tasks, and then you can put them in workflow plans. So if somebody's going for a service product A, there's certain workflow tasks that need to go for that, and you can set it up to automate send based on time, based on somebody's signing something, based on a payment. You have flexibility. Now, I love Dubsado because it's beautiful. I think the people did a great job at making sure it looked clean and easy to navigate and use. Spot on. Even their forms where you can custom make proposals was really nice. Like, take a look at this. I have a graphic design background, so it matters to me how things look. You can make the proposals look as beautiful or as simple as you like, and you can add custom stuff. Like this is a embedded field of all of my reviews, and you can add what the investment or cost would be, and then people can hit submit and next, or they can pay. You got the contract in here and the invoice all in one spot. So I loved it for that reason, because when I'm working with my clients, I'm trying to get them to work on the least amount of software apps so that they can be super effective in getting kind of the admin day-to-day stuff like nailed and finished, so that they can actually focus on providing their services or their products to their clients. Nobody wants to get bottlenecked because they're missing emails about contracts. They're having to chase after clients to pay invoices. All of that can be automated in Dubsado. So I loved it. It was great. But what I did not like, and what I had a real hard time kind of coping with, was that they kept all of the data in Dubsado and only allowed you to use other software with Dubsado's data through Zapier. However, Zapier, which I've loved for a long time when it first came out, was great. It allows you to take and data from one software to another software and like almost automatically. You can create triggers and actions. So if somebody signs up for your summit, you can have them automatically go into Dubsado, or somebody pays for a service in Dubsado, you can have them automatically go to MailChimp or something like that. The drawback was I don't use Zapier. Zapier is expensive because under their free plan, you only get 5 scenarios, or 5 zaps is what they call them, and they're all one step. So for instance, when somebody signs up on books a meeting with me on Dubsado, that's the trigger. The action is add them to MailChimp. That's one step. But if you wanted to add them to MailChimp and, let's say, send them a postcard, like a thank you for signing up postcard, you can't do that in one go. You have to create a second Zap to do that. And I just don't want to pay, that's their annual I don't want to pay $30 to have multi-step things. So I use Make. And Make is so much more bang for your buck. Under their free plan, you can have up to 1,000 operations a month. And that also includes multi-step scenarios. So it works for me. I don't have to pay like what Zapier charges and blah, blah, blah. So Dubsado does not allow me to use Make. It also doesn't have an open API, which I need if they don't have a default integration with another platform besides Zapier. So Dubsado was also $40, and I'm just like, it's not doing everything I need. So I was looking for months for another software until I found Moxie. And Moxie, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if these people work for Dubsado or whatever, they probably had the same pain points I did, because they basically recreated all Dubsado but added features into it that really met my needs. So with Moxie, I can use Make, I can use Pabbly, and I can have custom integrations, meaning the data in Moxie is not locked down to Moxie, or I'm not locked down to using one type of provider to connect to other apps. The UI is not as great as Dubsado, and I had to kind of square with that because I'm just like, oh, Dubsado is so much more pretty, but this has much better functionality. And it's a growing business. It's rather new, so the owners and the makers are still very reachable, and they are eager to get stuff out to make this platform just superb. And you have almost the same features. You can have clients, projects, you can integrate your inbox with Moxie. I have not done that because I have a separate CRM. And then you can also use tickets, which I thought was pretty cool, because with my clients, since I'm working in the tech kind of industry with helping people, integrate software, when something goes wrong, instead of them kind of like sending me emails, even though they still do that, on the client portal, they can just submit a ticket and that will come to me, and I can track it that way. So that's also really cool. Dubsado did not have anything like that. You still have your pipeline of your projects and all, like you can create many different steps here. You can do all your accounting and your agreements, which are basically your proposals, etc. and things. It also has the workflow automation. Now, Dubsado's workflow automation I liked a little bit better because it's like you can read through it like this. Moxie's is visual, so it's drag and drop, and you click to change any settings within these modules, and you can have waits, you can have decisions, you can wait for something to be signed, wait for something to be paid, to do the next step. So that's really interesting. I have not set up any of my workflows yet, but it's there and I'm happy that it's there. The other thing I really loved about Moxie is the customization you can do for the client portal. Now, Dubsado does have a client portal, but it is super limited to really only putting up agreements and contracts, and not really a lot of customization that you can do there. So under Moxie, I can have, my own brand. Dubsado does that. But you can change what your login screen looks like, upload a picture or whatever you want. So this gives an example of what my client portal site looks like. You can add custom pages. So for instance, I work with a lot of private or confidential information for my clients. So I ask them to send all that information through an encrypted site. And so I can add that site to everybody's client portal, and I can also add the leave a review page to everybody's portal. I can enable or disable certain features across the whole business, and then I can do kind of custom permissions per client. So if one client, I want them to see the time tracker, I can do that and then hide it from another client. You can also add your custom domain so that it is MOHJU or your name.moxie.app.com. And then you can also add a custom email for when you're sending out communications to your clients. It goes to a certain email, from a certain email. So they also do have a template builder. It's not, again, as beautiful as Dubsado, but it works. Again, I'm happy. You can have your payment plans, which was a huge thing for me in Dubsado. The granular aspect of creating payment plans in Dubsado was beautiful. And so Moxie has just released that ability like last week. So, woo! So it still is integrated with Stripe, and that's what I use for my payment processor. So I didn't have to switch anything there. And I can create any type of steps, add a payment event, change the amount if you want it to be percent or dollar, when is it going to take effect, and it can be auto billed. So it's perfect. So you can send your proposal, contracts, and invoice, again, all in one fell swoop here. So one of my favorite things about switching from Dubsado to Moxie is it costs half the cost of Dubsado, and it does a little bit more. So for a monthly payment, it is $20 a month, whereas Dubsado was $40. Again, $40 for the same type of features that Moxie is offering. Where am I? And I would say some of the other cool things that Moxie does have is like a phone. So communicator, you can have a virtual phone through Moxie where you can call people, as well as having text message. So you can send text messages, you can do calls, and they have a mobile app that has all of that in it. So you can also have the phone ring on your actual mobile phone when it's connected to Moxie. And that is under their communicator system or settings here. And then what else did I love about them? They do have meeting schedules, same thing. Oh, their project settings, which is really cool. Not that project setting, but let's just say I wanted to create a template for a project. So if you are a service provider who has maybe, let's say, 3 services, and the workflow for their services are kind of separate and different, you can create project templates. So it's like this person needs a tech stack audit. So I can create a template that tells me what tasks need to go into that project. And when I'm adding that project to a client, or I use the automated workflows, it will automatically add all those tasks to that project so that I know I'm checking them all off and just having a duplicable service. So that was really cool. I love that about the projects. And you can handle a more complex projects in Moxie. So Dubsado has a very, let me see if I can show an old one. Let's go here. So under Dubsado, their project task, you can just have tasks, right? But you can't really do much except for like say what it is, a due date, upload a file, and things like that. So it's a bit limited. I used another software to handle my projects and my project tasks. But under Moxie, when you're creating a project, let's go ahead and do that. You have all the project details, the fees that are already set in the project because you're using the template. You can have tasks, every task that you have, you can change the Kanban or a list or a timeline. And then under here you can see what's going on. So description, subtask, file attachment, comments, all of that. And then you can add notes, you can invoice for time if that's how you're tracking your projects. And then you can see timesheets. In this one switch from Dubsado to Moxie, I am saving 20 times 12, $240 a year just from that one switch. I am Chastity Williams, and that is my description of why I left Dubsado to Moxie. I hope if ever you need help, you just contact me at letstalk@MOHJU.com. That is MOHJU.com. All right, peace out.